We have one of the reporters who went to D.C. live in the newsroom, the Daily Iowan's politics editor, Sarah Watson. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
Now, what was it like in Washington, D.C.?
Well, it was a real whirlwind tour. I mean, we interviewed 5 out of the 6 members of Iowa's congressional delegation, met with people in newsrooms, and of course toured the monuments. And what was really striking about being in Washington, D.C. was just the amount of history that was at your feet. You knew that for hundreds of years, lawmakers and civilians alike had been walking along the National Mall to the Lincoln Memorial in the House office buildings. So that was really a humbling experience.
And what was it like talking to members of Congress?
So like I said, we interviewed 5 out of the 6 members of Iowa's delegation, and we talked about a wide range of issues, including the Green New Deal, like you just saw. We also talked about the Midwest flooding that's hitting the western side of the state. We talked about the Mueller report, which dropped while we were in Washington, D.C. Attorney General William Barr released a summary that week. So we interviewed our members of the congressional delegation about that. And it was just the politicians. It was really great to see them in person. You got to hear their voice, meet their staff members. And so if, for example, like in one of our interviews with Abby Finkenauer, she showed us a picture that she kept on her desk of her grandfather, who's a former lieutenant in the Dubuque Fire Department, which we would never have gotten with an interview over the phone.
And what was your biggest takeaway?
So like I said, with the Mueller report dropping that week, we asked about that to each of our members of Congress. And the biggest takeaway from the Mueller report was that our representatives and senators wanted to shift the focus away from whether or not the now President Trump's campaign colluded with Russia, shifting that focus to how can we protect the integrity of America's elections in 2016? Because whether or not President Trump colluded with Russia, there was still an interference by a foreign nation in our 2016 election.
That's Sarah Watson, live in the newsroom. Thank you.